Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. Um, Today I have to tell you I'm a little under the weather, so it's really hard for me to do a lot of talking. I actually need the help of the AI today. So I don't know how long I'm trying to. I don't know if it's a cold or what I got. It's just been so hot, and then you're going in and out of the AC, and then there's all these different viruses going around, and I'm just kind of a hot mess right now. So I'm not going to do a whole bunch of commentary. Um, I did want to say that at this part of the book, they are starting to go into more the artifacts and the things that they found in South and Central America, and so it gets a little, mundane in a way. It depends on where your interest is. But it is interesting information that they found, and eventually come to a conclusion, but this is just the first section, and that's a lot of what they're talking about, so it's interesting. um if you haven't watched my previous video, 10 sons of Adam, 18 daughters of Eve, you may want to listen to that. It's very, very interesting on what they discovered using, um, just following the DNA. It's purely it's purely like scientific, um and like s- research, like scientific research, like DNA has no reason to lie. It's gonna say what it is. That's what's been messing people up. So, like, because Dave Chappelle said, whoever invented the DNA, they gonna white people want to kill that man. But DNA has really been speaking its truth. It just, that's all it knows how to do. So that's the really cool thing about it. And it's a very interesting video. It's an article that I found during my research because I had so many questions. Like, um, you know, the thing that people are missing or don't understand is that indigenous people are not a monolith, meaning they don't all look the same. They don't, you know what I'm saying? Like, they're not all one color and one look. And just because you look this one way that you're native, that's not true. There's another video that I want to comment on, that I'm looking into seeing how to do it because I've never done this stuff before. And it actually talks about a tribe in New Jersey. And it's fascinating. It's fascinating. But it basically backs up what I'm saying, that we're not a monolith. We look all different shapes, sizes, and colors, from pale skin to dark skin, and even the hair textures. One of these days I'm going to share the story that I was told, the oral history that I was told. And and I kind of want to share it near closer to the middle of the end of this project, because I'm seeing that what I was told historically, um through oral history, it's it's being proven. It's the research and the DNA is proving it. It's really fascinating to see. So here you go. I'm going to play it, and if you have any questions or whatever, I'm learning right along with you. So I'm learning with you, and I'm enjoying the process. I hope you enjoy and have a wonderful day.
Chapter 3, First Epoch. The Tyrian Era, before Christ, 332 years. The landing in Mexican America of the ancient Tyrians of Phoenicia, and the building of the cities, temples, and pyramids, the ruins of which have lately been discovered. Arrangement of facts and arguments for the present volume. In the endeavor to establish this important epoch, recourse must be had to the same train of argument as that used in the preceding pages, that where the written law does not exist, that which is unwritten must be brought forward as evidence to support and sustain conclusions. And to this must be added the powerful witness of strong and perfect analogy for the essential purposes of identity. Believing that the reader is convinced that the natives of North Americans are of a distinct race to those inhabiting the other portion of the continent, as already illustrated by the contrasts in their religious and political policies, and even by their physical analogies. The necessity now arises of completely identifying those of Mexican America, as we have slightly those of the North, sufficient however for the division of the races. In the preceding title of the first epoch of this history is not only stated the nation from whence they came, but even the year in which they landed. To support these startling assertions, to make their truth apparent to the reader, to convince his understanding and crush all doubts, that even history may place the volume within her archives, requires a basis of argument which shall be rock-built, that the superstructure about to be raised, while it invites, may yet resist not defy the storms and shafts of criticism, but, as a strongly cemented edifice requires the warm influence of the sun to secure the component parts, so do we look for the sun smile from the just and mild eye of the true critic, which will not glance upon only one part of the composition, but view each as required to form the consistency of the entire building. And when the edifice is finished, whether the entablature will remain blank or bear our humble name is not for us to determine or command. Yet in reference to the latter and natural hope, the sentiment of the senator of Utica will direct us, that if we cannot command success, at least we will endeavor to deserve it. The following investigation and arrangements of argument are required for the elucidation of this epoch, and then from the summary of evidence, and from that only, the reader, as a jury, will form his verdict. 1. Are the fine arts of sufficient authority to be received as evidence for establishing historical records or events? 2. The fact of the discovery of the ruined cities in Mexican America, their description, locality, and character, established. 3. The religious and national analogies and traditions between the ancient Tyrians and the Mexican Aborigines will be investigated and their identity established. 4. The Mexican innovations upon the customs of the Tyrians will be explained. 5. The general history of Phoenicia, but especially the political and commercial history of the kingdom of Tyrus, its rise and fall analyzed. 6. The cause of the Tyrian migration to the Western Hemisphere, the means whereby, and the date wherein it was accomplished, the means of concealing the secret of their discovery of the Western continent from the Asiatics and Europeans. 7. The building of their first altars, temples, pyramids, and palaces, and which have remained as unknown in the history of the world for full 2,150 years. 8. The new discovery of the fulfillment of 5 additional prophecies by Isaiah, identified and established by the proofs of the Tyrian epoch of this history of ancient America. 9. A recapitulation of the entire subject and summary of the various evidences of the truth of the Tyrian theory, founded upon analogies, traditions, history, and prophecy. And lastly, the fulfillment of the Tyrian prophecies of Isaiah in the Western Hemisphere also establishes with the division of the Aborigines into 2 races, Tyrian and Israelitish, and their conquerors, the actual accomplishment of Noah's malediction and his prophecy of the human family. These astounding and newly discovered facts will form a concluding chapter for the complete annihilation of the atheistical denial of prophetic truths. These prophetic facts are not essential to the support of this history. They are but the seals to the document.